Hey everyone, it's Jennifer Roberts here, the Podqueen. Okay, ready everyone? This is for single people again. So come in close, get your coffee, put down your hatchet though, because I may say some things that are going to make you angry. I may make you mad. Are you ready for that? Are you excited? This is going to be juicy. Okay, so when singles are in relationships, are you a single then if you're in a relationship? I don't know. You're not married and you're dating. And so, but maybe it's not working out, right? And you know that it's time to end the relationship. I want to give you some tips on how to end a relationship. Now, and I'm telling you these tips because of different things that other people have heard, and it can get a little bit awful, okay? So here's what you don't want to do. You don't want to say to the guy, the Lord told me I need to break up with you, okay? That's rude. So not only have you broken his heart, but you made him feel like God hates him too. Like, own it. If you don't want to date him, just say you don't want to date him. Don't put God's, stamp on it. In some ways, you're afraid to own your own feelings, so you have to say the Lord said. Come on. Be stronger than that. And so also, if guys are watching, listen to me. Don't go to a girl and say the Lord told me you're to be my wife when you don't even know her. All you've seen is her picture. You stalk her on Instagram. You know all about her from Facebook, but you don't know her. And then you go to her and say, the Lord said we're to get married. Not cool. That is not cool. You actually need to know a person. And so many people want to bypass the getting to know each other process. But I think the getting to know each other process is part of the journey. That's how you build a history with someone. That's how you get to know someone. You don't want to skip that. That's an important part of your relationship. I enjoyed getting to know my husband. And so, yeah, it may not seem super romantic that we didn't have, some banner come down from heaven, Dwayne and Jennifer Roberts, they're meant to get married. It wasn't that exotic, it wasn't that amazing, but we fell in love, we made choices to get to know each other, we made choices to work through conflict and relationship, and through that we built a history together. So getting to know someone is so important, it's valuable. You're actually showing interest in another human being. I love that. And so don't bypass that part. Now, especially Christians, we do this. We get a little goofy. We try to act like everything is spiritual. And not everything is. Not everything is like this holy moment where an angel has to appear and tell you what to do. You have free will. Enjoy your free will. Make good choices. Don't defy the Bible. Do, biblical concepts. But also, you're allowed to make a decision. Here's the other thing I'm going to say. Now, I know that this seems weird, but I hear this a lot. A woman or a guy will say, I'm waiting for someone to come along and complete me. That's crazy. You're already complete. You are complete in Christ. And so for you to think that someone has to come and complete you is inaccurate. That's really silly. It sounds romantic, and I get it. Like, it does sound romantic, and I cannot imagine my life without my husband. Like, that sounds awful. But I was complete. I was a whole person when I went into the relationship. He was a whole person when we began the relationship. So the thought that two halves come together and make one, that's not how it goes. Two wholes come together and make one, which is way harder. That means a piece of you has to go away, a piece of him has to go away, and together you become one. And so, here's the last bit of advice. Now, I'm rambling. I've got no real points here other than just my opinions. And that is how the Podqueen rolls, okay? So, here's the other thing. People act like there's only one person that they can marry. I don't agree with that. Once you're married, there's one person. But there could be 10,000 people you could choose before that. So don't act like it's such a hard discovery to find this one person. Once you get married, you make a covenant and you never question it again, ever. But until then, you have options and you have choices, and you're allowed to end a relationship, if it's turning into an unhealthy situation, you end it before you get married. Now, once you're married, you work and you fight to make it strong. But until then, you need to make sure that you're making an investment in the relationship that you're in so that it can make it over to making a commitment for life, which is marriage. Does that make sense? And so, random thoughts from Jen. This is what I think. I've got all kinds of random thoughts, offensive thoughts even. Thoughts that'll make you angry. Thoughts that'll make you want to turn off the Podqueen show. So if I've done that to you today, I'm sorry, but I want you to know you have choices today. And I want you to have dignity in your communication. When you break up with someone, have dignity. When you ask someone out, guys, if you're watching, which I know some of you are, have dignity. Say, hey, I like you, as opposed to the Lord told me to marry you. It's just that simple. It doesn't have to be super complicated. That's what the Podqueen thinks.